I'm always cautious with these. Whenever I see something like this, my first instinct is to think that, well, you'll see. So remember, we don't really care about what's on the inside of the absolute value, right? So this time I will emphasize that I don't care about it, and I really hope you don't either. So I'm just going to cover that up for now. So I'll come back to it, I hope, if the technology will allow me to. Remember, we need to solve first just for the absolute value. So I'm going to start by zeroing out that positive 5 there. So I'm going to subtract 5 from both sides. Okay, that zeroes that out. Now I got a negative 3 times some absolute value, which is less than 14 minus 5, which is 9er. And this is what I mean. There's something fishy is going on when something looks as ugly as it did. But now I'm going to take that negative 3 and divide it by itself to make it a phantom 1. But if I do it to one side, I got to do it the other side, right? So this one ends up being some absolute value. We divided both sides by this negative, so that's going to flip the inequality to a greater than symbol. But we now have 9 divided by negative 3, which is negative 3. Okay, so we're back at the kind of the original problem, or problem two problems ago, however many problems ago it was, where we're now saying an absolute value is bigger than a negative. That's always going to be the case. I guess the last one was that, so this one is a little bit different. So I guess I should explain here, right? So we're saying, again, I don't really care what's on the inside, but we need to be done with this one because we're now comparing an absolute value with a negative, which as soon as we compare an absolute value with an equal sign or any type of inequality, we should be done. Okay, so this is saying that the absolute value is greater than negative. Okay, so I'm going to reword the question here. When will an absolute value be greater than a negative? Question mark. And the answer to that is always. It will always be, because absolute values are always going to come out as positive. So remember how ugly that was inside there? It's still ugly inside. We just don't care about what's inside the absolute value. Just it's going to come out positive. And so this one ends up having just infinite solutions. Now you'll have to keep in mind, even let's say that, let's go back to the start here. Even if by chance they had the equal part on the inequality, it still doesn't change that there's an infinite number of solutions. And that would be true even if there were no solutions. If it said, hey, can you make this thing equal to it? It still doesn't matter. Should be no solutions there.